So what you doing there, Buttercup?
Well, I got all the old buckets with dirt off in them.
Okay.
I have the last load of dirt in the cement mixer, one in the wheelbarrow. I separated the buckets. These are the viable buckets that I can use one more season because they're not all that brittle. They've already got the net cups in them. I just have to put the soil on the bottom, and I have to mix up some soil for them. Then I've got all the row for the celery done, and I'm working on the last 2 rows. I'll probably only use the 1 row, and the other row can be for something else.
Do you want to take our break now under the tree?
Yeah, we can take a break now.
Under the tree we are sitting
Just
today.
gotta mix up some of that mud for my net cups.
So why don't we sit down?
Okay.
We'll go sit over here. Oh.
And then I'm going to relax a little bit, and then I'm going to come out and weed eat around the garden.
Yes, I didn't
Get rid of any trip hazards.
get done with half.
Long grass can be a trip hazard.
I didn't get done with half the stuff I did, and I didn't forget to put your drink in the refrigerator. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. It's in the shade.
It's warm. Should I leave it out here or bring it
cold,
in?
Yeah, you can leave it out. If it's too cold, it only works on my throat. It only makes me cough. So.
It's looking good.
Well, we're almost 10 o'clock this morning, and
Clay put a clock outside, guys, which is the best thing that we do, so we know what time it is if we're working out in the garden.
it's big enough to see from the whole end of the garden.
Yeah.
So you don't have to squint. And I'm still working in the shade because the garden gets morning shade and afternoon sun, which is good. That way, if it rains overnight, your plants still have a chance to suck up the water before the sun comes out and dries the moisture off the leaves and that. And I've got room for 9 buckets on each trough, but I'm only putting 6 for the tomatoes, so it gives them room to spread. And I will be putting those poles back in there to help tie them up.
Is it real hot out here, or how's it going?
Oh, it's not too bad. Got a nice little breeze, even though it said it's going to be 80. I just wanted to get the dirt all mixed for the buckets. Right now I'm just reusing the buckets that are still good. The buckets that are breaking apart and falling apart, I'll clip later on or tomorrow I'll clip the net cups out of them, save the net cups for more good buckets. I'll wash them up a little bit before I store them. And I can work on them later in the season. If I find a good deal on some good buckets, I'll buy them up during the gardening season. So I can have them up for this fall and winter. I can put net cups in them and store them.
I think I'm going to change my mind about lunch, because I got working in that back room. Unless you want that. I think I'm going to do eggs maybe later, salad later. Maybe hot dogs or something?
If you got them thawed out, yeah.
Okay, it's up to you. Do you want rice or hot dogs? What do you want? Like flavored rice or hot dogs? What would you rather have?
It doesn't matter. Flavored rice would be fine.
Okay, maybe I'll make that for you. Or spaghetti.
I'll have the rice.
Okay.
I got thinking this fall, after the tomato plants are done,
Okay.
I can clip the tomato plants off and put lids on these buckets. And then the weeds don't grow up, there'll be less weeds to pick for next year.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean, some of them you can't put lids on because of the older buckets, but at least the blue buckets I can.
Okay, you know what we were crabbing about this morning? About the ice?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so tell everyone what you told me about the ice, because I thought it was a good idea.
Well,
He told me.
It's the same thing as going to buy a bag of ice. Take your ice cubes, trays, freeze them up, and take a gallon Ziploc and empty them into the Ziploc, put them back in the freezer, and fill your trays back up, and fill your Ziploc bags with ice cubes. And if the ice cubes seem to stick together, you just take the sealed bag and kind of slam it on your counter, and they'll all break apart for your drinks.
Because we don't have an ice maker.
I don't like ice makers.
So he told me about it, and then, well, it's just one more thing, you know. So he told me about it this morning. So
Hey, I have a couple of bags of ice I had.
yeah.
But that's beside the point.
Well, I thought that was a good thing.
I just want to get the buckets that are viable. I want to get those filled with dirt. Whether we use them or not is a different story. But I figured once the tomatoes are done, I'll take some nippers and nip the plants right off at the below the bucket. Put a lid on it for the winter. That'll keep the dirt dry and keep the weeds down from growing up in the fall. Because you usually get tomatoes right up until, at least I do, I get tomatoes right up until October, November. Or you get your first freeze. So about Thanksgiving, I'll put lids on them and just leave them set on top of the straws.
I saw something else here in the country that you taught me just about a second ago. I like to share this stuff because I was a city girl. All right, up in the sky, I'll see a big bird and a little bird following them. What's going on with that?
The big bird was getting too close to the nest, and the little bird's chasing them off.
So we see that stuff a lot in the country.
Well, it's usually crows. Usually the little birds will chase the crows off.
The other thing that I see a lot in the country are huge.
Because the crows will take the
sorry.
babies. Crows will take the babies and eat them.
Did they eat the babies then?
They eat carrion, yeah. You see a dead animal on the road, the crows are right there eating that too. Just like the turkey vultures.
Well, I was like, sometimes,
God's cleanup crew.
yes, garbage can, like dogs. That's why you're not supposed to eat, like it wasn't kosher dog, and say some of that stuff. What was I gonna say? Not that we eat kosher, but because we don't. But the other thing, I was at the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, sometimes out here I see these great big huge birds in the sky. You'd think they'd be a pterodactyl because they're so huge, but actually they're
blue herons.
They're blue herrings and things like that, and even hawks and eagles are out here. I saw an eagle the other day.
Yeah, we saw a bald eagle
Yeah.
out in the field eating on a deer carcass.
So we see a lot of that stuff. Talking about deer carcass, what's that show that we watched yesterday? It was kind of cute. The little,
Sweet Tooth.
yeah, we found a little show that
It's on Netflix.
yeah, it was kind of cute. Because at first I didn't go, Clay likes creatures. He likes like all kinds of creatures. And so I didn't know at first if I would like it, but I actually got into the story. It's just a cute little story. It's a, you know, so it's a series on Netflix. And then before that, what did we watch? But we saw them all with that I really liked it with the duck hockey thing.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that was nice. That was like a series. They had that on.
Well, they did season 1. They haven't put season 2 up yet.
That I like that too.
I also like that new Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous. It's kind of a cartoon kind of thing on Netflix. That's a good story too. Second season much better than the first season was. First season was getting you used to the characters.
So we watch a variety of things, but those, that was something that was.
I try not to binge watch. We watch a couple episodes and then we switch to something else.
He always teases me. It's like, this is the last one, and then sometimes you'll let me watch another one. Because we kind of spread them out.
Depending where they left you with a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So, it's fun. We like watching movies. We used to like to go to the drive-in, but we could never stay up for the third movie. We'd always be sleeping. And first of all, you only get there at like 9 anyway. I love going to our drive-in, but it's probably, we just sleep through the movies. And they always put something in the middle that you don't really care about, so you always usually fall asleep at that one, it seems like. And a couple times we saw movies. What did that Star Wars one? That like the lighting was, I don't know. I mean,
Mandalorian?
Solo or something. I don't know. Remember?
Oh, the movie Solo.
It was just the lighting was just. So,
It was to tell you how Solo became who he was, but Han Solo. But when we were at the theater, it was so dark.
the driving.
Really couldn't see
Driving, yeah.
Really couldn't see the picture well.
It's just for some.
It's on Netflix now. We could watch it again so we could see what we missed.
But it wasn't the driving fault. It was the film, the way it was filmed. It just looked like
No,
that.
everybody else told me you could see it perfectly.
Yeah, it was just.
Just it must have been the way they had the lighting at the drive-in.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't the driving side. It was just the way it was filmed with the lighting and everything.
Could be. I don't know.
So, because usually our driving is really, it's a lot. Our driving is a lot of fun to go to, but we probably won't go this year because of just everything. It's just too much unless we go with my son.
Well,
or something.
we get working all day long, and by the time we get up there, you're ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So we'll sleep through a couple of movies.
Well, we were going to the drive-in like all the time, and just I think we probably got drive-in out.
And they always put the best movies on last, and you're already asleep by the time the good movie comes on.
Well, which brings me to the next story, the ice cream story. We like going out for ice cream, but sometimes it's just by the time you get done and go somewhere. So Clay likes to go to the grocery store at one time and
Buy up about $30 worth of ice cream cones or ice cream sandwiches and things like that. And because if you stop and think about it, each time you stop at an ice cream store or a stand, for a small it costs you about $3 a piece. Well, for $6 you could buy almost 1.5 cartons with either 6 or 8 or 12 ice creams in it. So,
but you have to have rules about it. Like,
yeah, we have rules about eating ice cream at
yes.
home. The only time if it's really hot, and if I feel like having an ice cream and she doesn't, we won't have the ice cream. If she feels like having an ice cream and I don't, we won't have the ice cream. We have to both be mutual so that the ice cream is being used up, but not eaten like mad kids on a holiday weekend.
Well, we both lost 10 pounds lately, and we're trying to lose weight, so that's why we're so strict about it. Now, if you need to gain weight, go ahead and eat as much ice cream as you want, but Clay and I are both,
We don't need to eat an ice cream.
we want to lose.
But it's nice to have them in the free. I like the popsicles and the ice pops too.
Yeah, I don't
But
like
I have
those.
to watch the sugar in those. So once in a while during the summer, I'll have an ice pop.
My weakness is peanut butter.
But I only want peanut butter maybe twice a year.
Well, I've made a new rule now, because, like, you know what I've been having for breakfast? I didn't tell you this.
Well, except for that.
Well, no, but for me, I've been having a spoon or two, if I'm really hungry, of peanut butter and 1 spoon of honey. And it's
I like
doing it
peanut
for
butter
me.
and honey mixed and put on my toast.
I'm not putting it on bread because I don't, I'm trying to lose the weight, but not that you can't put it on bread because you're working so hard, but.
Well, I like it on biscuits. But these are things that I shouldn't be eating.
Right.
I kind of watch.
Well, you
course-
only have a little bit. I
Of course,
watch
she hasn't
it.
made biscuits in years, so I don't have to worry much about that.
Is that a hint? It's hot, dear. I go in there.
Well, you do that. What you do is you make up the biscuits in the fall when it's getting chilly, then you freeze them.
Maybe I'll bake this year, seeing that I'm not going to freeze. Not going to do any canning.
Well, you could freeze it.
Well, that's what I said. I could bake and freeze. Well, that bread, homemade baked bread we had today was really good. We got it.
We bought that last fall.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we got that like 2 years ago. Oh, no, wait. We
It
got
was?
that last fall?
Yep.
Okay, then I correct me. That was last
But
year.
that's still a year.
I pulled it out of the freezer thinking, because we're going to get a new freezer, thinking, well, I guess I'll feed this to the birds. And it looked so good that I thought, maybe we can eat this. And then Clay did eat it, and I guess it looked
It was
good.
fine. I don't know why it wouldn't be fine. It was frozen.
No, I know. It's just that sometimes
I have to
bread-
make up those bee traps because I can see carpenter bees going into my bee house.
Oh.
They just went around the corner.
Yeah, that's the bee. Has carpenter bees right there. If you haven't seen Clay's carpenter bee trap, go back and check that. Hopeful Backyard Farm. You can see it, how our name is spelled. in
They're
the
not over there now, you
description?
don't need to. There's one buzzing around the roof, but
Yeah, I know it.
I got to get one on each side, catch up all those carpenter bees, fill in the holes they made with some caulking. Then we got to paint that bee house here pretty soon. Get a couple of nice dry days. I want to weed eat around it before we start painting.
Who's the we?
We meaning you. I hate painting.
I love painting, so
I don't mind painting if I'm painting like a beehive or something, but I don't want to be painting big overall projects.
just don't expect it to be perfect. But pray, guys,
Oh, I don't
that
care if
it
it's
is.
perfect. It's gonna be waterproof.
But just pray that it's perfect. Well, let's start doing that adult coloring so I can be a better artist.
Well, you're gonna roll it on. You
I know.
can't miss with a roll on.
I'm gonna draw flowers and no, I'm not. I'm just gonna paint it. We're gonna paint it red, and I gotta paint the front door. I gotta paint the bathroom. Gotta paint the kitchen. Gotta paint the laundry room. Gotta paint the dining room. I'm busy. That's okay.
Gotta
Bird's
get out
over
of my
there.
dirt, bird.
He's over there.
Eating
Yeah.
the bugs out of the bird.
That's his job.
Bucket. Things stay nice. I might be able to plant all my vegetables today too. It's only 10 o'clock. I should be done with buckets by 11. I could have the garden done by noon.
That'd be nice.
At least what plants I've got to plant.
Do you have to go pick up that tool? Do you want to go pick
No,
up that
not
tool?
today. I'm gonna use the weed eater as much as I can. If it doesn't touch it, then I'll go get that hedge trimmer and cut those weeds right down to the ground.
I'm always telling them, Clay's a very good money manager. I'm always telling them, spend money, spend money.
Don't want to spend money.
And he, well, because Clay is,
I try to find the easiest and quickest way out of something.
Clay is frugal, I'm cheap. And that comes from me being I used to be a really big spender, so now it's like, right, it doesn't matter. I had the money to spend it on my bills were paid, but it's just, now it's a sport. They say that people with my personality, they'll go through a time of extreme spending and then extreme saving. It's just like, why go out and buy Tupperware when you got all those free bowls sent
It's
to
like
you?
this garden. Why do you want to spend 2 days rototilling, another day picking rocks, spend a day on the couch or in the recliner letting your back recuperate? I've been working on this since yesterday, and I've got the garden almost done. It's only been, I worked 4 hours on it yesterday, and so far I've worked almost 2 hours on it today, plus a couple of breaks. I'll work for about an hour and set for about 15 minutes, and then I get up and do some more.
Yes.
You know, you're tired by the end of the day, but you're not sore.
Well, I'm a firm believer in that you don't need any money. You just need to have a good prayer life. God give you a good job. He'll
Once I
give you
get the dirt on
opportunity.
this, I can take the weed eater and clean around the bottom of it, so I don't have to keep tripping over long grass.
That's right. I think some people should have a lot of money, and then some people might not need all that. Some people need it because maybe they got to go visit kings and queens, and other people, maybe they want to, it's all irrelevant. It's living right. But anyway, not that I live all perfect, because believe me, there's lots of improvement for me, and even more for him.
I need a lot of improvement.
Not really. Clay's good. He's very good to me. And I'm good to him. The secret to a happy marriage is no matter what anybody told you, you're supposed to be nice to each other. You're supposed to be nice to each other. Some people think that you want someone to be nice to, if you want people to be nice to you, you got to be nice to them. And keep short accounts.
And wear earplugs.
And wear earplugs. When he's watching the shows I don't like, I put earplugs in. When I snore, what do?
I turn the volume up.
And if you were like me and you like to talk, learn to be a good reader. Tell yourself, talk less. That's what I'm always saying. Talk less, talk less. It's supposed to be a tennis match. He talks, I talk. He talks, I talk. Come from a big family. So when you're number 6 of all those kids, you're the last man on the totem pole. The youngest child usually gets into sales.
Got a lot of weed eating to do out here.
Oh, yes, you do. But don't worry, I told you I'd weed eat.
So you can weed eat if you want.
I would, but I got all that work in the house that I still haven't finished.
But
I can if you want me to, though.
No, I just want to get the buckets and the garden in, and then I can weed eat. Weed eating is no big deal. I can do that anytime. I just want to get it where I'm walking. I don't want to be tripping over that tall grass. I don't need to fall.
No, but get rid of those sneakers. Because when you take them
Yeah,
off,
these
they're going to end up in the garbage today.
These sneakers are terrible. They're falling apart.
Show him your sneakers. He's talking about his sneakers, and I'm like, you
Well,
shouldn't be wearing those.
The bottoms are falling right out of them.
Because he's being frugal. He's saving the good ones till he dies.
I save the good ones till these fall apart, and then I start wearing them and get a new pair of good ones.
So I have to pack them up and get rid of them. Just wear them.
Well, I'm not getting anything done. I guess I better get busy and pack the mud into those buckets.
He didn't want to wear good clothes because he knows he's going to get filthy. You're not as dirty as you were yesterday yet. Yesterday he came in, he was covered in dirt. And I'm like, are you going to take a shower? He looked at me like, Ruthie, you know better.
You know I'm going to take a shower.
I know you will. Well, I guess you're going to get to work. I'm going to exercise.
Yeah, I want to get it while it's still got some shade and I'm not sweating to death.
I'm going to exercise, then I'm going to take
They're
a shower.
talking by 1 o'clock it's supposed to be 80,
Is it really?
84, something like that.
Okay.
And if it gets too hot, I can't breathe very good. Just takes my breath away. I got to do something with them carpenter bees. They're
I
on
know.
both sides of that shed.
I know. Got all this cottonwood talking about nature. It looks like it's been snowing the last few days. Literally. Okay, listen, doll. I'm going to go. Did you hear me, sweetie? I'm going to go exercise for only 15 minutes because I haven't been exercising. Get this
Put
fat.
something under the foot of that
I did. I put a
rag or something. 'cause
Yeah.
It's gouging my porch.
I'm going to exercise and then I'm going to take a shower. Then I'm going to come out and probably start lunch after that or whatever.
And turn my radio back on.
Yes, I'll turn your radio back on. Princess. I mean, Clay. I'm just teasing. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
You are disrespectful.
He knows I love him. My husband is a sweet man. I used to have nightmares
And then
that we weren't together
then she
anymore.
woke up.
Then I woke up. No, that's because I had two abusive marriages before I met Clay. But now I know that God is good. But hey, I don't hold any unforgiveness towards anyone. That's the secret to happy life. Don't look back. Keep looking forward. And I forgive everybody from the heart, right? Oh, we've been married, what, 10 years this year. Well, I guess we better get back to work, and I'm just sitting here shooting the breeze. Break time. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I'm not getting any done talking. Sitting here talking.
And
to
it's
you.
nice and shaded right there, too, right now, so you
Yeah,
should...
that's why I wanted to get the dirt all done. I could do any of the other stuff in the sunlight.
Okay, guys, so
I
remember...
also don't
Oh.
need to get the sunburns.
Yes. So remember, guys, big or small, you too could be a backyard farm. God bless.